You guys, obviously there's a lot on the line, potentially big picture these next couple of weeks. You only had, one game to play today to get that performance from Grayson, to get your offense jumping on them and take advantage of some things early against a good pitcher. Just what did that say about your guys and kind of their mentality entering this stretch run?
Well, the Banks kid that they had throwing tonight, I don't think he'd lost in Big Ten play. I think he was perfect throughout, and that was the first Friday night loss that he's gotten now. So I credit a couple of things. I think our hitters did a really nice job, and Coach Mark preparing them. But our fans, the place is packed again, and our fans at the beginning of the game, I thought that was a really big deal. And so credit to the fans for helping us out. And the louder you get, the better it is for us. But I thought that there was a couple of really good at-bats in that inning. We were able to pretty much bat around that inning and take it all the way to the top again. We had a chance to really blow the game open with bases loaded and Neville up, and it didn't work out, but he smoked the ball at second baseman there. It was a really good start, and it allowed Grayson to settle in. And Grayson wanted to finish the game, and we had to pry the ball out of his hand even after the seventh inning. We were like, no, you're done, man. Go sit down and, cool down. But he pitched very well, and he's a true competitor, so really good performance.
Since you mentioned the fans, if I could just follow up, mean a little bit extra. Obviously, there's a lot you're playing for, but when the field renaming ceremony happens, to get a performance like this out of your team on a day like this when the family's here and celebrating their dad's memory.
Yeah, with Bob Kilkenny Field at PK Park, right? So, that's official now. The Kilkenny family all in the house. Really special. I know that'd mean a lot to Coach Horton, and we love Coach. And that's a really big thing for our guys to be able to, they wanted to put up a great performance, and Grayson did that. They have the whole family here. We gave the game ball to Pat, obviously, in honor of Bob and what the family wanted to do for that great legacy. But we don't even get a chance to wear uniforms and have this beautiful facility and stuff without Pat. So, and the family. And so for us, we're so grateful to the family and then the fans to show up and respect the fact that Pat was going to do those kind of things and to honor the family. I thought was really classy by the fans. And by the way, Pat's going to be here tomorrow with the family too. So fans, let's get this place rocking in honor of Mr. Kilkenny and his family. So
Grayson's been. Go ahead.
What'd you like out of Grayson, Stokes, and Seth today?
They threw the ball over the plate with really good stuff, right? Stokes is his stuff is, when he's around the zone, it's borderline unhittable, and he was tonight. He's just really good. He's come a long way. Those pitchers all have. Coach Hawk deserves a lot of credit for that. For Grayson to put another quality start out there again this week, and he's done it routinely now. Again, credit to Coach Hawk for his patience with the pitching staff and development with those guys. They've really pitched well, and tonight was another example of shutout on a Friday night. Tremendous.
Grayson's been just outstanding in the last 4 starts. He's had 31 innings, only 4 earned runs, 1.16 ERA. How have you seen him take his game to the next level after last year where he was a really good pitcher?
His work ethic away from the field. His work ethic in the weight room now, and with all the arm care that he does, and with all of how he lives off the field. He eats right, he sleeps right. He's not a guy that's out, in the bars and stuff like that or whatever. We don't have many bars in Eugene, but if there was a bar, he's not going to be in it. The kid is really buttoned up. He does a tremendous job with his academics. He's a well-rounded young man. Credit to his family. And Grayson, I think this year the biggest thing is the weight room. For him and Mason Neville and those guys, they've really invested in that weight room, and you see. For Grayson specifically, he's able to get deeper into games now because of what he's invested in the weight room, and for the others, it means something different.
What was it like to see Jeffrey Hurd take advantage of an opportunity like he did today?
Thrilled for him. He's been swinging the bat so well lately. He's a neat kid. Yeah.
Part of Grayson's outing tonight was having to battle through some deep counts. What kind of grit did he show in those battles?
We had that one inning where the bases got loaded and he made some really good pitches, which was tremendous. They're a feisty group. Washington's played their way into a really good spot in the Big Ten Conference, and credit to their coaching staff, putting them in position to strike. And they're a good team. And so for Grayson to be able to go with full 7 innings right there, and then pass the ball off to a couple of relievers, well done to those guys.
How important is it for you guys that there's somebody on the bench that you guys can turn to and make a difference and hit a home run like Jeffrey did today?
Well, and we had other guys we could turn to on the bench. You know, Dom Hellman's sitting on the bench. Nobody's going to hit a ball further than Dom Hellman, and hopefully we'll see him do that tomorrow. You know, but you know, it's a thick bench. We like our roster an awful lot. We feel as though there's a lot of really good players, and a lot of those really good players that they didn't even get a chance to play tonight. But that's when you're good, is when you've got good players after good players on the bench. And then it becomes a matter of guys not being selfish and really pulling for their teammates when they get the opportunity, and our guys are doing that. And that's been something that shifted from the beginning of the year, where we just weren't in a place where we enjoyed each other's successes as much as we probably needed to be a great team. And we're starting to do that on a really good basis, which is nice.
Depending on how the chips fall, that might have been Grayson's last appearance at PK Park. This might be a tough question to answer, but what has he meant to you and meant to this program over the last 3 years?
Well, we don't want that to be Grayson's last outing at PK Park. I can get to the sentimental stuff later on, but we're gonna play to make sure Grayson pitches at PK Park. Not just one more outing, but hopefully a couple more outings.
Kind of on Cole, it feels like a month ago there was a time where when he fires that ball to the backstop or hits that one guy, the wheels kind of come off for him.
Sure.
He sticks in and punches out the last guy to escape the inning, strikes out 4 in a frame. Has there been like a noticeable change in kind of his mindset and operation on the bump? Or?
Yeah, I think we've all seen that. I think the press has seen it, right? I think everybody in the stands has seen it, and he's just developing. I know Team USA has seen it. You know, they've watched him now and are going, whoa, you know, this kid's really starting to turn the corner. Credit to him and Coach Hawk, and you know, it's just his overall poise and demeanor on the mound. He's repeating his delivery. He's just keeping his motions in check, because you know, once you control yourself, you can control your performance. He's doing that better now, so you know, credit to him.
Was there like a day where you saw that shift in him? Was it
No, it's been a long process. And again, his commitment to the weight room is night and day from where it was a year ago. And the details of what he needs to do in between appearances, his commitment to doing the right things has really been excellent.
How's Mason trending? Obviously, the last couple of games has been designated hitter. I feel like you anticipated him seeing the outfield sometime this weekend.
I would love to see that. Yeah, that'd be great.
You would love to? Or?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Make that decision then, you know.
Yep, I get a chance to make those decisions. So we're always going to make the best decisions for the team to win a game. So that's what we're going to do.
Kind of on a different vein, with Drew playing in center, I know you've talked about it a lot lately, so I apologize, but you've got a catcher in left field and a second baseman in center, but what do you do to be able to get those guys to play meaningful innings for you guys in center field?
Just work with them a lot during the week in practice. You know, we've got a shortstop playing third as well, and you know, another shortstop playing first base. So Jacob, he can play shortstop. Yeah, even though he's left-handed, he might be a left-handed catcher too.
I mean, so can I.
Yeah.
So
I'll put on some spikes if you need it.
Jacob's really good at first base. Boy, he's just tremendous over there. So.